Welcome to the Hands of Time. It's your boy Big John Silver
and your boy Paulie the Bull.
We're here reviewing, year in review for the movies. Let's go right into it with our top 5.
Okay. So you more the movie guy, so I already know you've seen way more than I probably have. I'm a simple dude, but one of the movies we actually went to see together. You know what I'm saying? We had a little time. Shout out to Otto too, by the way. We do Great Pending. We did a lot of movies and stuff this year, so make sure I watch those as well. My first pick actually came out late 2020. It was after we had already recorded The Hands of Time for that year, so it wasn't on that list, but this list, it'll make it. Soul, starring Jamie Foxx, Tina Fey, Disney Pixar. It was straight to Disney Plus, but I think it was great voice acting. It was definitely a very good story. It wasn't a story I expected from the trailers and things. Much more heartfelt, little thought-provoking. An interesting take on the purpose of life, the meaning of life to people, your soul, how it's picked, and something interesting. I thought it was an interesting concept that I didn't expect. So Soul. The beginning of the year, this was a movie I actually forgot about, and I went back and watched it again. And I was like, yeah, this was dope. Judas and the Black Messiah. The actors did a phenomenal job. Shout out to Lakeith Stanfield for having to play a snitch in the movie. And he said it took a lot to, not just a snitch, but someone who was responsible for the downfall of such a predominant, as a black man, to play that role is like, damn, I gotta, So for him to do that, shout out to him for playing that role and having a detox from it, and but he did a phenomenal job. They all did great jobs in the roles that they portrayed. That movie also came out like January, February, and
you went to the theater for that? Or you saw HBO Max?
No, I seen HBO Max. HBO Max. Yeah, because at the time I think I was down south at the time, and it was on. I just watched it. So yeah,
I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Also on my top 5, The Harder They Fall. We talked about it in the music soundtrack. Shout out to I found out Seal's brother, the singer Seal, Kiss of a Rose. His brother directed The Harder They Fall and produced the soundtrack for The Harder They Fall.
Nice, I didn't know that.
And I went into it. I was like, all right, a bunch of black people, black production, and I enjoyed the movie. The colors, the cinematography of it, the story they told in it, which it didn't have. I wouldn't call it a twist at the end, but you get the aha or the reveal moment at the end, and it was like, yeah, it was a good story, and you get more purpose to why characters did what they did, when you get that wrap up in the end. But I thought it was great, and they used actual names of, black cowboys, which you can do some research on to find out who the real people were. So it was good. Again, another history lesson that you didn't realize you're getting, but kind of getting thrown in. But the movie itself, I thought it was great. I thought it was a great movie. The soundtrack, the way it plays into the movie and the scenes, that train robbery scene, when you watch it, or if you have seen it, that train scene, dope. That sold me. And when y'all see it, or if you haven't seen it, like I said, watch that train scene, you're gonna see the way they choreographed the movement, and everybody was on point with it to do what they did. That was dope. A surprise for me was Ghostbusters Afterlife. Let me rephrase that. My allergies started acting up in the theater watching the movie. I'm gonna be real. It was heartfelt. I felt it. I felt the way they did it. They paid tribute to not Ivan Reitman. They paid tribute to him. The story, it's a reboot, but continuing the story, and they did it right, unlike Matrix, we'll talk about that later. But reboot, continue the story, and it didn't come off as a cash grab, which we know these movies are all cash grabs, they want the monies, but it didn't feel like that. The story itself really felt like it had some thought to it. I like the characters that they, kind of told the original story with them repurposed and with these character roles. And like I said, by the end of the movie, I was like, wow, that was good. Like I really enjoyed it, and it was just like, this was good. I didn't expect it, didn't see it coming. One of the best movies I've seen this year. And I know you say in no particular order, but the best movie I saw this year was SpiderMan No Way Home. Also went into it like, are they gonna be able to pull this off? Is it I mean, we did a review on it, but can we say spoilers?
Yeah, we were arguing to the day, like the day before the movie came out. We were arguing like,
yeah,
are they gonna pull this off? Nah, they're not getting all of them in there.
Yeah, they're not gonna do it.
Like, to keep it this quiet, that's long. Like, and these are little leaks. Nah.
Yeah, and the fact that they pulled it off, they pulled off the impossible, but it made sense. It wasn't just for, hey, look, it's this person. Oh, look, it's this person. It was like, okay, this is why they, and again, not a perfect movie, you know what I'm saying? There is some holes and all that stuff, but it was just like, it doesn't feel like 2.5 hours long. I seen it 3 times in theaters. I saw it 3 times. Each time, like, I felt like, yeah, this is good. Like, this is a great movie. And finally, on the 3rd time, it didn't have as many crowd reactions, so I got to hear some things that I missed the first 2 times. So there's a few lines that, when there's some certain things that happen, it's kind of been out for like a month now. You should have saw it, but
we definitely talk about it. Talk about it.
So when the other Spider-Men come through the portal, crowd, movie theater went crazy. When Tobey Maguire finally comes through, Ned says, "Oh, it's just some random guy." I didn't hear him say that the first time because everybody was like applauding and going crazy the first time. So there's a few things you don't hear, and it was funny just to hear him say, "Oh, just some random guy." He didn't know, this nigga lost in the alleyway. You know what I'm saying? But every time I watched it, I felt like, damn, this movie's good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, each time I just was like, they did it. Like, and knowing what was about to happen, seeing it again, I was like, yo, they really did that. Like, they pulled it off. So that was the best movie I've seen this year. Honorable mentions. It was I'm trying to think.
Fucking laptop.
Yeah, my man. I had Godzilla vs. Kong as an honorable mention. We went to see that in theaters on the IMAX. That was the only way to see it. And it wasn't in my top 5 because it's a popcorn movie, but it was a great popcorn movie. It was meant to be Godzilla vs. Kong. Monsters fighting, tearing up the city, and they pulled that off. Like, they really, they accomplished that. So it was kind of my 5, 6, 5A, 5B. Honorable mention, but Godzilla vs. Kong was it's definitely up there too for me. It was fun to watch, enjoyed. I could just put it on and watch it again. They get right to the action, like, okay, it's time to fight. When Godzilla came out that water, Kong was like, oh, he's about to go down. Like, it was like seeing these CGI monsters, but I felt like it's really monsters fighting. Like, I felt like a little kid looking at the screen, and the punches, you felt the punches. Like, you felt the punches, you felt the destruction of Tokyo. Sorry, stop Asian hate. Is that still a thing? Do we still post that?
I don't think we're still doing that.
Okay, so tear it up, tear the city up. My other honorable mentions, I had Eternals. I thought it was gonna be one of those epic, drawn out movies, and it had more action and more. It was more entertaining than I thought it would be. And me and Otto was arguing about it. Me and Otto was arguing about it, and it was like, yo, they actually did a DC movie better than DC. Gods, and their superheroes are more godlike, and it was like, yeah, these Eternals are godlike. I don't want to piss off any Christians, you know what I'm saying? But they...
You're not about DC fans?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? But they made... Yeah, after DC fans. But they made a DC movie, Marvel made a DC movie better than DC does. And it was just like, yeah, they pulled it off. So that was in my honorable mention. And American Skin. I don't know if you watched that. I think I told you to watch that. You ain't watched that. American Skin was the movie came out beginning of the year with the dude.
He takes over the precinct.
Yeah,
I didn't get a chance to watch it. I want to watch that so bad.
Great movie.
Good. It looked really good.
Yeah, great movie. You just got to see it. Like, you just got to see it. I mean, we all know what it's about. You know what I'm saying? But you just got to watch it. It's just just watch it one time.
It looked like the John Q, but in the precinct.
Yeah, exactly.
I really want to see it. I just didn't get a chance to.
Exactly.
Hopefully I can find it streaming somewhere.
King Richard. King Richard was borderline my honorable mentions. It was good. I just don't know how. It's one of the movies that's like, is this all true? It's like one of those, like, is that how it happened? But obviously Will Smith did a great job. I think the little girl that played Venus Williams, she did a great job in the role. Even the girl that played Serena, like, the kids did very well, and roles are I didn't know how accurate some of the scenes were to reality. There's a scene where Will, as Richard Williams, the father of Venus and Serena, and Venus is being interviewed by this interviewer, and her father walks in and kind of approaches the dude like, yo, relax. She answered the question, stop badger. And I seen a clip of the actual interview, and Will kind of mirrored that, like word for word, like expression, mannerism, and everything. So I was like, but that's Will Smith. That's what he do. He did Ali. He, you know, when he does these roles, he you know, Pursuit of Happiness type roles and stuff. He bodies them. So, and like I said, I just didn't know how much of the story was kind of glorified, other than those accurate redepictions of. But you know what I'm saying. But those are my honorable mentions. My disappointments. I mentioned it earlier. Matrix is definitely a big disappointment. You know what? I didn't have high expectations for it. I think we also argued about that. I was like, listen, The Matrix, great movie. Matrix 2 was okay, but you can see with the decline. Revolutions, there was really no way to end it, you know, so they had to do it that way. And I was like, this will work. But then you found out they didn't end it. They brought it back, and then we got Matrix Resurrections. And in the movie, they talk about making a cash grab because the Warner Brothers specifically wants you to do it. Then I'm like, so is that what y'all did? Like, is this what it all in all, even without that, the movie was bad. We didn't need it. The script was horrible. Neo was just force pushing everything. Again, you can watch our review of it on Grey Pending. I say all that. I'm not going to go into it again. It was just big disappointment. I'm trying to think what else I'm disappointed in. Halloween Kills. Evil Dies Tonight. Need I say more? I'm trying to think what else was a disappointment. Black Widow was a little bit of a disappointment, but I didn't really expect much from that either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was okay, but it was just like, I think they gave too much away with the whole falling scene, but it was like, we know she's not gonna die, so there's no real weight to this scene. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we know she lives on later than dies, you know, somewhere else. But, you know, it was one of the movies that I saw it. I don't think to that day, I think I've only watched it once. I might watch it again. That is, you know.
I saw it twice.
Yeah, I might watch it again. But it like I said, when I said disappointment, wasn't like it was, oh, this is trash, it was horrible. But I was like, you know what I'm saying. And I have honorable mentions that I wanted to say as well, but I know we're gonna probably speak about it, so I'm gonna let you go into that. So that's my list for now. Well, I was gonna say the Disney Plus series that they had on there, with the Marvel series and things like that. Even their Star Wars series, kind of, they're not movies, but they're filming them like cinematic movies broken up into, you know, episodes. Those are definitely my honorable mentions. WandaVision, Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier. What if Hawkeye? Yeah, and then like I said, you know, The Mandalorian held Disney Plus down the first year. That was in 2020, and then this year they followed it up with season 2, which was epic. We just got Boba Fett, and I'm happy with the way they're doing these series. But especially, like I said, the Marvel ones took it to the next level. WandaVision was ridiculous. I was impressed by Loki. I think you said you didn't really like it as much or whatever. Or?
I like Loki not as much.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
But I like the way they do it. I like I said, they're making them like 6-hour movies, whatever, but they're breaking them up to episodes. But that was my honorable mentions and stuff. So that's my list. I'll let you take it from there.
All right, so me for movies.
Mm-hmm. And you watch way more, like I said, you watch way more movies than I do, so I'm definitely expecting someone that I probably haven't seen that I got to look into. So
it wasn't that big of a year the way I expected it to be. Like, it's crazy. I mean, there's a few things that got pushed back, but I'll jump right into it. So for top movies, almost in no order. My number one's in no order. Okay. But I'm going to go with the other ones first. Okay. So I'm gonna go with The Harder They Fall. That's also on my top 5. I saw it, and I saw the trailer forever, and I was like, it looks good. I like the actors in it. Right. I like, you know, cool. I honestly think a big part was leading into Loki is Kang's performance in that. Right. I want to know Walter's character, and you know, Jonathan Majors in now. I was like, oh, you know what? I'll check this out. Right. Jonathan Majors. You know, I saw the trailer, it looked good, and I was like, you know what? I'll check it out. I'll give it a chance. Like, I got nothing better to do. Right. And then, I mean, I love the actors in it. I love fucking what's his name? Stanfield? No. Lakeith Stanfield? Yeah, Lakeith Stanfield. I love him since fucking, you know, Sorry to Bother You. So I was like, yo, I gotta check this out. Bro, I was surprised. Yeah. I thought we were gonna get like, cause I hate Westerns, first of all. I'm not a Westerns fan. Django and The Hateful Eight, which are both Quentin Tarantino, probably the only Westerns I actually ever fucking enjoyed. I don't like Westerns. I've tried. I watched Good, Bad, Ugly, all that shit. Just I can't get into it. I watched Unforgiven. I don't understand how the fucking won the Oscar. Anyway, that's not the point. Right. The point is, I'm not a big fan of Westerns. So I go into it expecting, you know, a decent movie, whatever. Right. like I said, cinematography, the way they added the soundtrack in it, all the acting, all of it. What's her name killed it.
Regina King?
Regina King killed it. The way they did just the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
They did a great job with it. Everyone played their role, and honestly, I would say even the stars, no one outshined each other. Everyone liked them for a point.
Everybody held their position.
The young kid who played the fastest gun, I love the way he played his role. Fucking Delroy Lindo, who I've always been a fan of, but Delroy Lindo fucking did a great. Like the movie itself was just a great fucking job.
Everybody owned their roles. Everybody.
The ending, it wasn't like a oh my god twist, but it still was like a good enough bringing the story around.
It made you like, okay, I get it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And I hate to pull the race card, but I'm kind of sad that Netflix now has 2 westerns on it, and they're only promoting one of them, which is Power of the Dog. I watched Power of the Dog with Benedict Cumberbatch. That movie was terrible. Right now, it got all the nominations for like they're talking about like Oscar nods. I don't see what they saw. I sat there, watched it. That movie was terrible. They should be pushing this other cowboy movie because The Harder They Fall, phenomenal, great fucking movie. I know we still got to do a review on it for actual great pending.
Yes, we do. We're gonna talk about
phenomenal
that.
movie, and it's on Netflix. It's free.
Yeah,
check that shit out
with your Netflix subscription.
Then I got surprise maybe for you guys.
Okay.
Those who don't know, I'm a huge I Love Lucy fan.
Okay.
I love I Love Lucy.
Okay.
And so when I heard
I don't know that. I don't know if I know that.
I love I Love Lucy.
Okay.
So what happened was when I used to stay home, I didn't like Price is Right, like all the other kids used to watch. And Jerry Springer gets annoying after a while. So I Love Lucy used to be on, midday. So I'd watch that and Golden Girls.
Thank you for being a friend.
I'm not even gonna talk about it right now.
Thank you for being a friend, Betty.
But they came out with Becoming the Ricardos.
Ricardos, yeah.
And I love Javier Bardem. I think he's a phenomenal actor in general. And then I also love J.K. Simmons. And I was like, so I watched the movie, and the whole movie takes place in only a week of her actual life. I mean, it has flashbacks and stuff, but it's just about a certain week when it came out that Lucille Ball, when she first was old enough to vote, she added she was part of the Communist Party. And they made it that whole week about that. Are we going to be able to push the issue? Are we going to do that? And then, you find out controversy, like, she's pregnant. They've never done a live pregnant broadcast. You can't be pregnant on TV. You can't even talk about pregnancy on TV at this time. So there was so much like, are we going to get canceled because of these things? It's really a week worth. I also didn't know how much stuff that they put in promotion. Like, they ran that show. They actually were the runners of that show. Like, they got backing before by the big companies. But that was all of them. They created, they said the last say on the script. They had so much stuff that I didn't know about. I also didn't know they had backing, and her film production company helped launch Star Wars and other things. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I was like, wow, this is pretty phenomenal.
Okay.
So I was a fan of the movie, so I wanted to check it out. The movie's done really well. J.K. Simmons plays his part to the fucking T. If you ever watched I Love Lucy, he plays Fred, the neighbor. Everything, his faces, when he's not playing Fred, the character on the show, and he's playing the actual live actor, he's even acting different. So he's not J.K. Simmons at all. His regular scenes, he's playing Fred outside of work, and then he's playing him at phenomenal. Every role was played perfectly. The movie was great. You got to learn a lot, and I love how they did it. And again, I learned a lot from it. And again, I love Lucy, so it worked out. But just the acting in general was great. And Javier Bardem again killed it. I love him as an actor. So I got that. Then I got Encanto. Oh man, that I always love Disney films, big Disney fan, but this movie was done so well. I wasn't sure how it was gonna be because whenever Disney comes out new stuff, whenever this comes to the movie theater, comes to the toy section, I buy my daughter the whole setup of whatever comes out, Coco, anything that comes out. I buy this one. Like I saw the stuff sitting on shelves for a while, and I showed my daughter. My daughter had no interest. The movie didn't come out yet. I was like, all right. So then I took her to the movies to see it. And she loved it. She loved it so much that we had to order her a fucking rumba dress, and she's like dancing in it. But the movie itself is a good movie. The story it tells is great. That's also Lin-Manuel Miranda.
He makes all those Disney songs now. Like
he's on fire. I love this Moana song. He's on fire. But the movie itself is good. But also what I like is that there's no real villain. Technically, the villain would be the grandma, but even she's not a villain. She was trying to do what's best for her family, and of course, at the end of the day, the villains are always trying to do what's best. But this is different. Right. She's not the actual villain. She the way we go about it. There's no actual villain. It's literally this family, and each one having what they bring to the table. And then also from a Spanish family, like anyone, like what it's like to have the pressure of being the perfect one, being the strong one, has to hold the family down, the outcast who no one's allowed to talk to, and you can't mention him. They have a song about it, like in the movie, you can't mention the outcast kind of person. So that part was great. Plus the way grandmas in any Spanish family, and a lot of families in general, grandmas are that rock that hold the family down. And if what they say is gold, so they got that movie on perfectly. It was a beautifully, Disney never fucks up when it comes to that stuff. It looked beautiful. The songs are great. I love the movie. I've seen it probably like 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
And then not to mention all the times in the background playing when my kids are listening to it, singing the songs. Now I have one that I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for.
Okay.
I truly enjoyed it.
Okay.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I really, really fucking enjoyed it. I watched it 4 times now.
Okay.
I really, start to finish, I enjoyed it. I loved Idris and John Cena's fucking play off each other and their chemistry. The movie itself I thought was really good. I'm not a big fan of DC, and I was never a big fan of the Suicide Squad in general, but I really enjoyed the movie. Like, honestly, it's probably my second favorite action superhero movie this year. I liked it more than anything anything Marvel MCU put out this year. So I really, really love that.
You said you liked it more than anything that Marvel?
The MCU put out, just the MCU, not the Sony MCU mix.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, not the Sony MCU.
I was about
to say. Leading into that though, my number 1 is also Spider-Man.
Okay. I was a little nervous, but all right.
I'm not gonna lie, which I'm gonna add into disappointments later on. But going into Venom, I already didn't expect much out of Spider-Man. If you remember the Eternals great pending, I was actually already saying, like, I already expect them to fuck Spider-Man up because look how bad Venom was and look how bad this is, and like we had a conversation, and I was already talking about me not expecting much from Spider-Man.
And I was fronting because I was trying to. Otto was so like just pessimistic, so I could you know it's gonna be a kid. I was scared. I was like, I don't know if they're gonna do it, but I was like, I'm telling Otto, you know it's gonna be there. You know they're gonna be there. I was like. I hope they did.
Spider-Man was definitely my number 1. Yeah. The way they did it, the way everything went across, like putting out all the story, but just the acting alone, like it made it phenomenal. Everything was great. I loved like the Andrew Garfield reveal was great. I was obviously when they opened the second portal, the fact that the first time he opened the portal he said, "Show me Spider-Man." The second time he said, "Show me Peter Parker." I knew it's Toby, but still seeing him come out like, oh my God. And the way they spinned it, they killed Aunt May, still did the great responsibility, the great power, great responsibility, still doing that part of it. And then the emotions behind where he's like, yo, I couldn't save Gwen. I couldn't save Ben.
Right.
I couldn't save, and you realize, even though this is part 3 of Spider-Man, this is actually his first part of his new series.
It was an origin story. Yeah,
it's an origin story. All 3 movies make an actual origin story. And it's just phenomenal the way they did it. William Dafoe, fucking great job. Everyone, just the whole movie was great job. I loved it. My only complaint on the entire movie was they didn't need that fucking Venom scene in the end credits. But anyway, I loved the whole fucking thing. The movie was phenomenal. Everyone did a great job. And even his sad choice at the end where he chooses, you know what? He saw she was happy. She saw she got an MIT, but then she saw the cut and he was like, she's like, oh, it don't hurt no more. When she said it don't hurt no more, it hit. And he's like, nah, I'm not.
The whole time he was being selfless and sacrificing for them. And even into the end, he still sacrificed everything for them.
Which is kind of like the point of being for the name of Spider-Man. And also through the comics, him never having a normal life or good life. So that was my top movies, without a doubt. Now I'll talk about my honorable mentions. So for honorable mentions, I got Dune. I actually enjoyed Dune. I watched it in the movies with you guys. Then I watched it. I watched it on HBO Max when they released it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was visually. I love how it looked. I love the way they did it. It's way better than the original. I'm still. I do feel they maybe should cut it little parts and make it one movie, maybe 3 hours straight. To do 2 separate movies. I don't know if I could do 2 separate like that and enjoy it as much. I did. I mean, I'm one of the few that I did enjoy it. Or I could watch 1 and 2 together, chapter 1 and 2, and watch all 5 hours with no problem. It doesn't bother me. But I don't know if I could do that with Dune. But I did enjoy what they did with it. I love the way it looked. It was beautiful. I love the acting in it. I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was beautiful.
I could do that with Endgame and Infinity War.
That's my honorable mention. Yeah, I could definitely do Endgame and Infinity War. That's one of my honorable mentions. Then my other one was Wrath of Man. So I personally am a huge Guy Ritchie fan. I love Guy Ritchie. Last year he had The Gentleman. That was either on my list or honorable mention last year. And now this year you have Wrath of Man, Jason Statham. I love it. I love the twist. I love the turn. I love how Guy Ritchie does his thing. I'm a big fan of his. I thought it was a good movie. My next honorable mention would be going into the MCU. I'm going to lead into honorable mentions into my also disappointments. So with the MCU, my problem, my honorable mention is the TV shows. I love the TV shows. I thought they did a good job with all of them. I have favorites, but there's none that I dislike. There's none that I just straight up hate it.
Right.
What If would probably be the one that's, because it's half, I liked half of them, didn't like half of them. But even the ones that I didn't like, I still enjoyed watching, just weren't like the greatest thing in the world. But I loved what they did with it, 100%. I'm sad though, because I didn't truly enjoy any of their movies this year. And I'm a big MCU fan. Like the one I enjoyed the most was the Eternals, without a doubt. I've seen Eternals once. I've seen the other ones. I've seen Black Widow twice. Shang-Chi.
I enjoyed Shang-Chi. Matter of fact, Shang-Chi was probably my honorable mention, so I forgot about that.
I enjoyed Shang-Chi. I did enjoy Shang-Chi. However, I enjoyed it more the second and third time. But I still, towards the ending, the never-ending story riding the dragon and shit. I just couldn't. I get it's part of the story, I get it's part of this culture, but it just wasn't for me. But the movie I did enjoy.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Eternals I enjoyed a lot because I didn't expect it to be that good, and it was. So Eternals I enjoyed a lot, but it's still not. The 3 Marvel movies this year were probably not, in my opinion, more hyped or better for, in my opinion, than any of the Marvel movies of any other year.
I know you count No Way Home for Sony. It's an MCU movie. Put that on. It's an MCU movie.
But I was going off the straight just MCU Disney title, like be Disney Plus kind of thing.
Yeah,
but no, we already know Spider-Man's number 1 without a doubt. I can't, I'm hyped.
That makes up for all of them. But yeah, I forgot about I forgot to mention Shang-Chi. That was on my honorable mentions as well too. Yeah.
And now for my disappointments.
Let's go.
So my disappointments. Last thing. Venom 2. Oh man, I love Venom. I got Venom tatted on my arm. I got a million Venom shirts, Venom action figures, Venom statues. I love Venom.
Right.
One of my favorite characters. I wasn't a big fan of the first movie in general, but this time they're adding Carnage. I personally thought that Woody Harrelson would be a great choice for Carnage because if you ever seen Natural Born Killers, that's all you need. That's all you need to show his resume why he could be a great fucking Cassidy. But
and they did that. They kind of did Natural Born Killers in this movie.
But, oh my God, it was just terrible all around. I didn't like the jokes. I never liked Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock anyway, but it just was terrible all around. Fucking shitty fucking movie. And
I didn't think it was that bad.
That's what also added my disappointment heading into Spider-Man. I was like, it's not gonna be that great.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was wrong. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was two separate
Last
things.
one,
which is why I say, even though they're both Sony, but it was like, nah, Feige and them was involved in Spider-Man.
Last disappointment though, definitely Matrix 4. I think everyone feels that way. I actually was hoping for it. I was kind of hyped for it. I like the Matrix. I love Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves on a fucking tear with his John Wick and all his movies, and so I was hoping for it. If you look at the grade pending, I'm not gonna go over all again, but damn man, they just fucking destroyed that movie, man. Mojo Rising. Terrible. They destroyed that movie.
Another movie I forgot was the Denzel, Rami Malek, Jared Leto movie.
I liked it. Not enough for honorable mentions, but not enough for my trash bin. I enjoyed it.
Boring. And then it just ends. It's just like, oh yeah, they killed him, and now it's like, oh, okay. Like it was just boring. Like the movie just dragged on, and it was just like,
But I mean, those are my top picks, your top picks.
Yeah.
Obviously, honorable mentions, anything we forgot, any movie buffs out there, especially Otto. I know there's a lot of things to talk about. Let us know. Keep us posted. Comment below. Thank you so much.
Yep.